Welcome to the medical method. Today we're going to be talking about section 2 of the GAMSAT, which involves you writing 2 essays in an hour on 2 sets of quotes. Okay. Now the first thing that I want to advise is get onto this website. Okay, I'm going to put it up here, throw it somewhere around here. Okay, click on that website, you'll get random quote generator. And basically it's got a bunch of quotes that basically never runs out of different themes attached to quotes, and you can write and write and write. It's the best place to practice. The website itself actually has heaps of good information about the GAMSAT, specifically really graduate entry, all the admissions, what sort of scores you need, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so get on there, it's really, really good. Now, I'll start off by saying for section 2, you must practice. Really, to get good at writing, you have to practice a lot. So try to write, I'm thinking 2 to 3 essays a week is ideal. Excuse me. Yeah, 2 to 3 essays a week, probably in the lead up, so in 2 months, and then before that, even less. Now, I know it doesn't seem like much, but you really want to maximize your improvement between essays. There's no point writing 14 essays a week, because 10 of those essays will be the same as the last ones. So what you have to do is, once you get your timing right, because I agree that you need to get your timing right, but once you've got all your timing and all that sort of stuff down, you need to really work on specific improvements. So if it's complexity of ideas, improve your complexity of ideas. Be it take longer, it doesn't really matter how you do it. Even if you take 2 hours to write 1 essay, if you've made an improvement, you can condense it and get faster at that. So I would look at definitely writing essays. Start off by just analyzing prompts, trying to come up with good complex ideas with sort of extensive answers. And again, reading, like section 1, it's key to read because it informs your ideas, as you'll see in the prompts that I've used. Alright, so I've got a little screenshot. I'll use After Effects to put it right up here. I'm trying to aim right, yeah, somewhere around here, okay. So I'll put it up there, a screenshot, you should be able to see it now. And basically we've got 5 quotes. This is a standard structure. You get 5 quotes, you get 2 of these, okay? And sort of contrary to what you say, they just give you an hour and give you the 2. So you can time it as you like, but definitely obviously try and do it half an hour. Now I would have already read these and hopefully understood these in the reading time that was provided, okay? So let's go through. So it says, the first one is, do not repeat after me words that you do not understand. Do not merely put on a mask of my ideas, for it will be an illusion and you will thereby deceive yourself. Okay? So when I read that, I go through it sort of section by section. Do not repeat after me words that you do not understand. Okay, so someone just repeating after someone, so, you know, either this is transferable, so reading a book, repeating that, I'm thinking knowledge. Do not merely put on a mask of my ideas. Okay, so this is building on it. For it will be an illusion and you will deceive yourself. Okay, so this, for me, is a sort of quote that comments on the difference between understanding and knowledge. Knowledge is a deep understanding that is not a mask of ideas. It is something that you've experienced and grasped for yourself. Where understanding is a bunch of ideas that you've read somewhere, memorized, and it's an illusion, and therefore you are deceiving yourself that you have that knowledge. Okay? Now you could write probably a whole essay on the difference between the 2 of these. So I would I'm pretty happy with that as the quote I'd use to sort of structure everything. And I would definitely aim to write 2 big paragraphs or 3 little ones, okay? And the best way to do it is, so the big 2 ones, you get them to contrast, or the 3 little ones, you have one sort of agreeing with whatever the quote says, second one sort of in the middle explaining conflicts, and then the third one disagreeing with. Where people say that that's not concise and argumentative in one direction, I understand what you're saying, but it's not a persuasive essay. You're trying to show that you have a broad understanding and that you can express the ideas that you understand in a broad sense. Like in the interview, like in everything else, you need to show that you understand all facets of an idea and bring it together in a concise, analytical answer, okay? So make sure you do that. So present multiple ideas, otherwise you come off one-sided, all right? So like for that first quote, you present the understanding side, the knowledge side, and you could even put put in another one as sort of the in-between. But another key thing is I use the other quotes as sort of a springboard to write about whichever quote I choose. Okay? You can definitely write about more than one quote. There's no real rules. You'll hear kids say, oh, if you write on more than one quote, you won't get a high score. Bitch, I got 84, so it doesn't matter, okay? 2 of my essays, I wrote on all the quotes. There are no rules. It's about how you write, okay? So let's go through the second one. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. So if dreams die, life cannot fly. So break it down, get rid of the hard stuff. I know it flows, but it's important just to be snappy. If dreams die, life cannot fly. Okay? So basically this is saying that there is more to life than knowledge. You need to dream of things in order to experience new things. You can take it however you like. I'd probably aim it as, in order to attain new and expansive knowledge, you need to dream first. You need to step away from books. You need to step away from the mask of ideas you are taught and dream of other things. See how I linked in? It's not that hard, but you just have to really get good at analysing these things. So let's do 3. Doubt is an illness that comes from knowledge and leads to madness. Okay, this is where I will explain why reading is important. So I've read a couple of books about the different ages in knowledge, okay? So there was the age of discovery, the age of Renaissance. So Renaissance was the rebirth of knowledge as a key thing. Then there's the age of discovery, which is around like the 1800s, 1900s, with all the alchemists, the sort of beginning of real science, all those kind of things. And now they're saying we're in the age of mastery, okay? Now, the idea of this is, as you delve more in depth into any knowledge, its complexity will amplify sort of tenfold or exponentially. It'll keep on amplifying. So a good example is, let's say I don't know who it is, but let's say there was a scientist in the 1800s who said that sugar goes through, gets absorbed by our being, and is used for energy. Then someone had to do anatomy to understand that, oh, well, okay, it goes down the esophagus into your stomach, gets digested, transported by glucose transporters in your intestine, goes into your blood. Your blood absorbs glucose via passive diffusion, facilitated transporters, and active processes into cells, then goes into metabolism, then blah, 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 then mRNA, then, you know, like, it just keeps on getting more and more complex when you're trying to understand minuscule things. Just go look up Cochrane's library with heaps of reviews, scientific... Okay, hi guys, sorry, my camera went flat. So, going on from where I started. So yeah, once you get to such a deep complexity of knowledge, you are sort of cumbersome by it to the point where it leads to madness. If you watch scientific reviews and read them, you understand that people devote their entire lives to understanding how one protein activates one transporter in a line of transporters that might affect a cancerous cell. Even that is important, like more important than most of the stuff I've seen. So you can talk about how knowledge can be cumbersome to true understanding at a human level. Stuff like just come up with ideas. This is the key thing with this one. I love saying this is a key thing. The most important thing in all writing, regardless of where, but particularly in GAMSAT, is coming up with brilliant ideas. And obviously in a GAMSAT you want to come up with brilliant ideas in a short amount of time. So the more you actually practice with prompts is sort of the underlying factor that makes you write well. Once you get your sort of format down, you don't need to practice that anymore. Practice analysing the prompts quickly and coming up with good ideas. Okay, so we'll do one more, and I'll leave one that you can comment in what you think of it. Sorry guys, I got a really sore throat. Okay, so I'll leave number 5. Comment down the bottom what you think of it, rate, subscribe, and I'll answer your comments and see what you think. For the 4th one, it is sometimes easier to be happy if you don't know everything. So it's similar to the 3rd one. Having a large knowledge of everything is sort of fundamental to fear because you understand more things that are inevitable in our death. Even that is so vague. It's like, there's actually a really good TED talk about this that details the fact that sort of how humans pay for our intelligence is by our awareness of our own death. Okay, so process that for a second. So you could say the ultimate curse of a human knowledge is the fact that we know that at some point in our lives we will die, and people are always looking to escape these truths. You know, that is like beyond deep. That is such a good point that pretty much no one else is going to write about. If you can present that concisely, you're going to do brilliantly in this essay. Anyway, I'll leave it there. One last thing I'd like to sort of add to this is that you have to remember that there'll be one topic that is sort of preparable, so knowledge, fear. There'll be another topic that is very difficult and random. I had one year, it was like, what was it? A nanny state, so like over controlling government. And I think this year was, what was it? Something about the government as well, actually. So you have to be ready for a random sort of motion or like keyword prompt, and also quite an intense involved prompt like public health or something. That's why it'd be good to have some exams, because they always have the harder ones. This quote generator is good for like fear, emotion, love, all those. That'll be good. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope this helped. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope you guys do well in the upcoming GAMSAT. Bye.